Hey, and welcome back to Touhou 15 and a half Antimony of Common Flowers. Where now we're playing as Marisa and Koichi, which it's not a bad pair. I do have a soft spot in my heart for Koichi and Hata no Kokoro, but I think Yukari is my new favorite.
Why are we playing in pairs?
We're not?
You said your favorite pair. Are they fighting? Like, what?
Oh! That's what the perfect possession is, the master and slave thing.
Oh. Okay.
So the master is the one you're mainly controlling, while the slave is the one you switch between things.
Oh, so it's kind of like that Tekken thing.
Maybe.
Well, like, you know, sometimes in fighting games you have, like, more than one character.
Yeah, it's not exactly a tag team thing, because to do the last word, you have to have your spell bar and your slave/partner's bar full to do it, and then you can't use them after you do your last word. So they have their own bars, but as far as I can tell, they can't do spell cards unless I was doing it wrong. Which is not impossible, I will be the first to admit. But like once we get a little later and we get to the main antagonists, it gets a little confusing because it implies that the person who's the slave doesn't have like any control, which seems weird because it seems like they're able to like switch with the other one just to say things, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't know what to do.
Just throwing many punches and then they turn into blights. No.
No!
My fine china.
You know, those are very slow-moving punches.
They are, yes. I'm just gonna keep throwing alchemical bombs at you, don't worry about it.
Can they, like, just keep doing those attacks indefinitely?
Until I break the shield, but I can only break it when the slave has it in its red. Okay, actually, you can sort of get through it while it's blue, but it takes way more to do it while it's blue.
I mean, okay, like...
But I just did a laser, so it's fine.
How many times has that been said in history? But I just did a laser, so it's fine. I hope it's a lot, personally.
So these two, which I didn't notice this my first playthrough, is they actually have a deal going where every battle they switch who the master is. So they just switch roles.
I mean, like, it seems like a decent arrangement to me.
Yeah, but they're like the only ones who do that.
Well, maybe people should follow their example.
Also, this is just such a mean thing for Marisa to say. It's like, if you could pair up with anyone, I should get rid of this weirdo. It's like, okay, you know what? Koichi is a simple yokai, okay? She just wants people to be afraid of her phone.
I mean, like... You know, we were all thinking it, but you don't have to say it.
Yeah, it's like, nope, definitely don't want to pair up with these nuts. Excuse me. Hata no Kokoro is the best. I'm still trying to figure out how to do the last word, which is why, as you may have noticed, this part is called I'll Never Have the Last Word.
Do you ever figure it out?
Yes, just not in this part. Because I keep hitting the buttons that should do it, and other shit happens. So, it's obnoxious, but yes, I do figure it out.
Well, thank God for that.
But that's why I said I try to do the last word with every character, but it doesn't work every time, because sometimes I'm like, okay, my bars are almost full, and then they die. So, you know. Man, let me beat the shit out of you, you stupid Kappa. One of the things that did change, which I'll talk about this more when we get to her part, is they did change the Kappa's moveset a little bit, but she still is probably like my least favorite character to play as.
I mean, did they change it meaningfully at all, or?
They added a few moves to try to like put her closer to the other ones in terms of power, but in my opinion, she still sucks. Except for that move right there. That move right there is pretty good.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
Also, I like the stupid pose. The stupid pose she does. Also, people got mad at me last time for calling her Hata and not Kokoro. When your name is Hata, no Kokoro. My argument was Hata is shorter to say, and god damn it, I'm going with the shorter one.
I mean, nicknames, man. It's all good. My name is Brian, and nobody ever calls me Brian. Okay, that was a bad example, but...
Well, part of the thing is that a lot of these characters' names have no in it, which I think I talked about before, because no is like... It's not exactly a conjunction. It's almost like a preposition, but not always. It can change, but it confuses me when almost everyone's name has it. Because technically, like, here's an example. The Japanese version, or the Japanese Alice in the Country of Hearts, is called Haruto no Kuni no Arisu.
Okay.
Which literally, if you want to go the most simple, literal way, is like... Hang on. Is... Switch it. Haruto no Kuni no Arisu. Alice of Country of Hearts.
Alice of Country of Hearts.
Is the very, very literal. Just taking it just as it is. But like I said, they translate it as Alice in the Country of Hearts. Also, I'm trying to make a shortcut for the last word, and it's not letting me. That's what that was.
I mean, is that even possible?
Apparently not.
God damn it, Arrow. You will never have the last word.
Yeah.
Your title is absolutely 100% correct.
Yes, that's why every now and then I will title an episode just based on what happened while I was recording it. And this one became I'll never have the last word. But anyway, though. So, with my very beginner Japanese knowledge, Hata no Kokoro would be Hata, which I don't remember what that means off the top of my head, of hearts. Which, to me, is more like a Jesus of Nazareth kind of thing. Actually, no, it would be Heart of Hata, I think. It would be Hata's hearts, if you do, apostrophe S instead of. Because that's where it gets confusing, is that you switch it. So it's not...
Right, I know that because in Naruto they say no jutsu.
Yeah.
But it means the jutsu of and whatever they say before that.
Yeah, so like... Pen no... There's an actual word for pen, but I just have to be able to... Pen no Brian would be Pen of Brian or Brian's pen.
Right.
I believe, yeah. But anyway, now I'm confusing myself. This is one of those things that we had a lot of trouble with in Japanese, and when I think about it too much, I do it wrong, so now I feel like I'm thinking about it too much and I'm not doing it right anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you're better off than I am, so.
So, what's her name? I forgot her name already, which is bad because she's the main character. So the fuck is her name? Reimu. Reimu is the Shrine Maiden. She is the incident-resolving Shrine Maiden, and she's gonna make sure you remember that.
The incident-resolving Shrine Maiden?
Well, that's because she's the main character. She resolves incidents. This is an incident. The Urban Legends thing was an incident.
I mean, I guess it's technically an incident, but still.
That's just how they translate the word. So. But anyway, I do think that's somewhat funny because the one real bullet hell Touhou game I played as Marisa. Because I both identify with the characters who are very intelligent and elegant all the time, and also the ones who are like, who the fuck are you? Why are you talking to me? What is this? And Marisa's a little more of the latter.
No, that definitely fits you. Yeah.
I am simultaneously both of these things. Just like one of those things that's very hard to explain to people is I am simultaneously a fan of absurdity and sick of everyone's bullshit. It's a tough life to live, man.
It sounds tough, yes. I mean, I'm sick of people's bullshit too, but I doubt it's at quite the level that you are. You're like advanced sick of people's bullshit.
I mean, I'm at the point where I am like no longer taking people's shit. I don't care who they are. Okay, I still have tact.
Right.
But I'm not playing my family's passive-aggressive game anymore. I'm not playing that game with my fucking friends. If they start pulling shit, I'm gonna call them out on it because I'm done dealing with shit. Okay?
No, isn't it liberating though? when you finally go, you know what? Fuck it.
I mean, it would be if I didn't like still have shit happening all the time.
I mean, yeah, but you know, at least you're not a doormat.
I don't think I was ever really. I've had.
Well, I'm not saying you were.
Yeah.
But you know, like I'm usually pretty anti-confrontation.
Yeah.
And because of that, like if somebody crosses me, they usually don't get what for. But no more.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I still do have some, anxiety shit, so I'm still not gonna confront people in person necessarily. But again, if people start shit, you better believe I'm gonna say something.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Anyway, look at this concert stage again. I wonder who's gonna show up. So this is I'm not familiar with the Prism Rivers, but apparently Koichi is a fan.
What does that even mean?
It's his band. Anyway, look, it's Yukari again.
Oh, the one with the weird dimensional rift shit.
Yes, because she likes to watch from the sidelines and then figure out things and play people against each other, which, you know what? I can applaud that.
Yeah, I can respect that, yeah. No, that's not a terrible thing to do. Well, I mean, it is, but it's not an ununderstandable thing. I can see why somebody would find that enjoyable.
Yes.
Man, I am sounding like an asshole. I should stop talking.
She's just like, I'm giving you the option to take back, or to, go back, or, you can come and see the actual source of this incident, because she's trying to figure out how, she knows who's causing it, but she can't figure out how to stop them right now, so she's mostly hanging around here in between, dimensions. And, confronting people when they get to this point, and then just watching what happens so that you can try to figure out what actually needs to be done.
Yeah,
and you know what? I can roll with that.
Her bib kind of reminds me of Missing No a little bit.
Really?
Just the shaping of it. Maybe Missing No is not the right. It reminds me of something. It's just kind of like, you know what? Have you ever seen Avatar: Legend of Korra?
Not Legend of Korra, no.
Okay, well, it sucks. Don't watch it. But
I have heard mixed things, or rather, I've heard mostly positive things, except from you.
No, it's terrible. They're wrong. Anyway, now if you like Legend of Korra, I disagree that it's high quality, but I'm not gonna stop you from. You're not a bad person or anything from liking what you like. Whatever. I really didn't like it, but that's not the point. The point is, there's a spirit thing in it that looks like a demon kite, and that's what the bib is reminding me of. So yeah.
She's just like, oh no, I lost.
Oh, here I go, losing again. Oh no, just kidding.
See, this is one of those things where Koichi is kind of funny. Because it's like, oh, you don't have a partner. And it's like, can you guess why that is? It's like, oh, because you have no friends? How sad.
Well, I mean, I generally don't make my friends slaves, so...
I would hope not.
Are they really your friends? I'm just saying.
Anyway, this is where I get into something that's interesting that I've noticed in multiple series. She refers to them as the most disastrous duo. And they refer to themselves, as you'll see shortly, as the worst, most disastrous duo. And that's just something that you may have seen in anime yourself, but what it makes me think of is Danganronpa's with... it's translated a few different ways, but my favorite way of it being translated is the first way I saw it, which is mankind's most malignant malfaction.
I enjoy that, yeah.
That was my favorite, but most of them say, like, the most worst disastrous incidents. And I'm just like, it's very interesting that that's just a thing that they do. In terms of, like, their grammar.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, most worst. The worst, most disastrous pair. Like,
I mean, I'm just thinking, like, if that's the most worst disastrous pair, what's the least best disastrous pair?
Anyway, she said that she's a goddess of wealth, but she's not. She said she's a goddess who brings wealth, by which she means she brings wealth to her.
Well, that's a type of bringing.
And her sister, however, is a god of poverty and bad luck.
Wow, that's just...
I like the bottom translation for Koichi there, where instead of some thin person showed up, just, a poor person!
Oh, yo, how can we let this happen? Where did we go wrong?
Anyway, so their whole plan, the reason why they started the perfect possession incident is because when people were at a concert, you could force perfect possession on them and then take all their money.
You know, that's not a bad plan. Real talk, that's not a bad plan.
Anyway, June, or Gion, they can't seem to decide that. They both translate differently. Who calls herself a goddess of wealth, is actually a plague god. Because it's poverty and pestilence. The worst, most disastrous pair.
God damn it. there's a lot of negativity I'm sensing here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, we might want to have some better energy, some better vibes going. This music's pretty good, though.
Anyway, the pestilence god and the poverty god, the worst, most disastrous sisters. Or, cursed and evil sisters, but worst, most disastrous is more fun to say.
No, it is.
Oh, I think it's actually the worst, mankind's worst, most despair-inducing incidents.
God damn, it just keeps getting worse!
That's why I prefer mankind's most malignant malfaction, because that's just... I like how whoever translated it went through all the efforts to put in alliteration, and I can appreciate that.
No, that's definitely worth merit, yes.
So that will always be my favorite over mankind's worst, most despair-inducing incidents, or whatever the other translation is. I literally was just finally watching the third Danganronpa, which is actually the second season. It's weird. It's based on a combination of the first game and the second game, so they called it 3, but there is a third game, and it has nothing to do with that one. So, it's weird. But anyway, every time they refer to the incident, I mentally replace it with mankind's most malignant malfaction, so I don't remember the other way to say it.
Oh, by the way, my sister and I finally have an incident with a date. It's a backhoe incident of 2016. I'm not going to go into details, because it's pretty involved, but we actually have an incident.
I translated it wrong. It's mankind's most despairingly maleficent and monstrous malfaction.
That's beautiful and terrifying at the same time, not gonna lie.
Also called the worst, most despair-inducing incident in the history of mankind. I prefer mankind's most despairingly maleficent and monstrous malfaction.
That's just so much more descriptive.
I mean, it really paints a picture.
You really know what you're dealing with, Did
I actually do my last word? I may have actually done the last word while I was Googling that.
Okay, but it wasn't the last attack, so it doesn't count.
No, but you see how I can't use Koishi now and my spell bar got halved?
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens after you do your last word.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's like, we're not gonna lose to you. And then she's like, haha, what a joke, you're gonna lose now. Possession exchange, absolute losers. Anyway, now we have the poverty god, who brings loss upon all those.
And by loss, I just mean I steal your shit.
No, she literally loses everything. The other one is the one who steals shit. She is cursed to lose everything.
Well, that's not happy.
And people around her experience misfortune too, which is actually something in the very, very end Homake thing that they kind of hint to.
But does she have any friends?
Nope. Strangely enough, the worst, most disastrous pair doesn't have a lot of friends.
I mean, I suppose that makes sense. But at least they have each other. Oh, now we have some... comic thingy.
Anyway, she got controlled by the poverty god. It's all over. I'll be ruins.
Oh no! It's so terrible. Except, is it really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
They just lost. Anyone possessed by you has no chance of winning. She's like, yeah, but I'll never taste victory myself.
your 20 shekels and move your car.
What? Why are you throwing change on my floor?
If you don't want it, can I have it?
I mean, I could use some change.
Oh.
Is that your life savings?
Take your 20 shekels.
I mean, it looks mostly like quarters. Loose. Oh god, now everything's coming in here. Milo! Milo, go. Loose. Go! All the dogs get out. Go!
I thought all dogs
Stop
were to
throwing change at the ground.
Milo, come here.
Milo, go.
Milo,
Yeah, now you're scaring him.
Milo,
Do
come
you
on.
just move? Milo, go.
Come on.
Don't eat the change. Jesus.
Don't eat the 20 shekels.
Milo, you're not in trouble. Lucy is pissing me off.
Lucy.
So yeah, are you able to move your car?
I'm recording right now.
Yeah, but we only have another minute! Actually, less than that, like 30 seconds.
Fine, enjoy your 20. You don't get your 20 shekels.
No, I think I deserve your life savings and change. You're gonna come in and throw it on my floor while I'm doing shit.
You know what? Yeah, make it even easier.
Don't throw it at me! Jesus, no!
Don't at me, bro!
Alright, I'll take it. Don't expect to get all this. Wait, what the fuck? This is Canadian money! Why do you have so much Canadian? Oh, no, this is American. The fuck, dude? Tune in next time for more Canadian currency.